Hola amigos inversores, how are you today? My name is Juan Estrella and I'm going to talk about MERCK. So let's get started. Okay guys, so let's get started with MERCK. It's an American multinational pharmaceutical company and one of the largest around the world. It gets its revenue mainly from sales of pharmaceutical products and large oncology drugs portfolio. The main competitors we have a Pfizer, Sanofi, Johnson & Johnson, Bayer, GSK, and Eli Lilly. Okay guys, so let's jump into the numbers. Currently we have a PE ratio of 26.96. The forward PE is 10.35. As a kind reminder, the forward PE, the best case scenario is 20 or less. So forward PE currently is a pretty good selling point. Price to book is something that I'm a little bit concerned. It's in 6.50 and the best case scenario is 1 or less. Now jumping to the price to sales, as you see, I was just having what is the best case scenario for the price to sales, and yeah, I just find out what is the average range. So the highest that we can just buy, that it would be on the 5.03. At least for the last couple 12 months, and the lowest that we can just find, at least for this specific market that is pretty bullish market, is 3.91. Currently, as when I'm just recording this video, is price to sales in $3.97. Obviously, the best case scenario for price to sales is 1 or less. Now, if we can just jump to the total equity, currently we have a $29.27 billion. So yeah, this is a pretty good number. Also, if we can just jump to the current ratio, it was just having ups and downs, but by the time I was just recording this video, the last report it was in 1.3. So yeah, as many of you may know me, the best case scenario for me it would be 2 or more, but yeah, 1.3, that's okay. It's pretty fair, just in case that if in the future the company MERCK has some emergencies, they will be able just to pay all their debts. Now, if we can just jump to the valuations for this stock, and we can just compare the forward PEs for the last years. So this is something also that you can just see it. For 2021, we have an average of 11.40. For the 2020, it was 12.66. 2019 it was 16. 2018 it was 16.05. 2017 14.16, and finally 2016 it was 15.29. So yeah, as you see, the lowest forward PE for the year it was on sorry, let me show you. Actually, it was in 2020. No, forget me. It actually is right now in the 2021. It's an average of 11.40. So that means that it was just having on the lowest place. I mean, it doesn't mean that this is bad. Actually, it's pretty good. That means that the forward PE is lower than in comparison with the last years. Now, if we can just jump into the two different indicators that I always like to compare. For the first one, we have the Bollinger indicator, and by the time I was just recording this video, it closed the share at $75, and yeah, this is in the buying area. So that's the reason I actually wanted to record this video, just to see how healthy this company is. Also, if we can just jump into the relative strength indicator, also it's in the buying area. That means that in this area, that means that many people are overselling their stock. So that's why it's the stock is having a very low price, or actually for me it would be a very good discount. And yeah, currently by the time I'm just recording, it's in the average of 30.92 in the area for relative strength indicator. So yeah, this is a very good area to buy the stock. Now, if we can just jump into the comparison, the sector media with the MERCK, also we can just see a very good selling point. So for the sector media, the average PE gap, we have 33.27 against the MERCK that currently we have an average of 13.96. So that means that it is actually super lower than the sector median. That also is a very good sign. That means that we can just this stock can be pricey in the future, and yeah, even though the yes, this is still just lower than the sector median, so this is also a very good sign. Now, as just as a kind reminder, the forward dividends for this current share, it's an average of $2.60, and for the year is an average of 3.47%. Before jumping into the technical analysis, I just want to show you the last report for earnings per share. If we can just see if this is also a good sign. Unfortunately, this is not, at least for the investors. They were expecting that it should be an earnings per share for this report should be at $1.38. However, it was reported of a loss of 83 cents. So if we can just compare the same report for 2020, but also in the comparison for the frame time in 2019, also this is another very good news, at least for this specific company. As you see, in 2020, it was an average earnings per share of $1.16. Against the 2019, it was an average of 74 cents. So that means that from 1 year, it was actually double than the last year. Okay guys, so now jumping into the technical analysis. Before starting, I just want to show you that we have at least we have a top area that at least we can the goal that we want to just reach for this specific stock. So I just want to let you know that for the last time the stock it was at price of $92.21. It was in January 2020. So yeah, you can just keep in mind how high it can go this stock before, maybe if you want to just sell the stock at this price, or maybe just hold it, thinking that maybe if we can just have in the future much better reports, it will be higher. So now jumping again to the technical analysis, by the time I was just recording this video, the price of this stock it was in $75. So yeah, it's one of the lowest points that it could be. Yeah, hopefully we can just go much lower, but yeah, at least we just need to remember that we are right now on the bullish market. This period of time for a couple years, this is just most of the stocks are just growing and growing. So yeah, I mean, obviously it's okay, but in the future we may have a very big crash. But against that, we can just see that right now $75 it seems to be just in the lowest price. However, it may be lower. So for the people who are very conservative, they want to play them long term, and also they are very concerned about the how low can this stock go. So at least I was just comparing the values and also the technical analysis, and it seems that the lowest can be it could be in $68. I mean, it doesn't mean that it will go to that specific price, but this is the green area. Also, there is a second area that I just checked, and it may be also on 71.98. So you can just keep in mind. Now, for the intrepid people, I just want to show you that I have this is a hill in blue that it seems that it's just going obviously up, trending up. This is also a very good sign. But yes, at least for the specific resistance that currently we just have, or at least just I detect, it was in price of $74.76. The next resistance that is not very strong, but I just detect also, it was in $76.06. And the next one is $79.59. The next resistance, it's an average of $81.57. The next one is an average of $83.36. The next one, it should be an $85.71. The next one, it would be an average of $87.07. And finally, the one that the last time it reached to that specific price, it was in January 2020. That is $92.21. Now, if we can just compare about the performance about this stock, and we can just show, I can just show you, so at least you can just have another comparison if you want to just keep in mind. At least for the last week, it was an average of loss of 1.06%. The last month, it was a loss of 8.91%, and the last 3 months it was a loss of 7.48%. The last 6 months it was a loss of 10.22%, and during the year it was actually a loss of 9.26%. For this current year, 2021, it was a loss of 8.31%. Okay guys, so hopefully you enjoyed this video, and see you on the next one. Bye.